Welcome everyone to episode 30 of This Week in Geek. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. If you are joining us live on YouTube or if you're listening to us on Spotify, thank you so much for taking us with you on your jog, on your commute, on your gym routine, whatever you're doing, however you're listening or seeing us. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ren Geekness, and of course, I'm not alone today. I'm joined by my always faithful co-host Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zach?
I'm good, man. I watched a fuck ton of movies. I watched 4 movies yesterday, so caught up on a lot of shit. So I'm very excited to talk about my weekly ranking.
That's exciting, man. That's exciting. Yeah. I don't think I watched a regular amount, a good enough amount of things throughout this week. So I'm excited to see if we watched anything that clashes, if we have different rankings as always. And of course, you guys know how this show works. First, we're going to start off with our weekly ranking segment. That's when we look back on our entire week of watching movies, TV shows, and whatever else, and we rank them from worst to best really quickly. Then we're going to bring up your weekly rankings that you drop in the live chat as the show goes on. And if you want to give more thoughts, comments, theories, questions, you can always do one of 3 things. You can super chat us or tip link us in the description below, because that way you not only ask great questions, but you actively support the show and the channel. Or you can go to the community tab and leave your question there on the post that says to leave your questions, and we'll do our best to get to your questions before the show is done. With that out of the way, Zach, take us away with your weekly ranking.
And I do want to add actually one thing real fast. So if you are new watching, we're not going to spoil Black Panther. We don't know anything about Wakanda Forever. We don't know.
No, I haven't seen
from
it.
the time. I haven't seen it either. So I just want to kind of say that out there is we don't know anything about this. And honestly, that's one thing. This is the one film that when it comes down to story plot points, I don't care. I don't want to know about it. There was stuff I knew about it, but that shit ain't in the film anymore. So that stuff don't matter anymore, and we can talk about that at a later date. But yeah, I just want to let that know for people who may be a little bit wary of watching this. If they kind of tune in, they're like, I don't want no spoilers. We're not spoiling it. So anyways, I'll get into my weekly ranking. I did start the Del Toro Cabinets of Curiosity, but I only got into one of them. The first, and which is actually my least favorite thing of the week, and that is Graveyard Rats. It was cool. It was fun. I don't know if you watched it at all, Ren, or
I watched anything. The entire thing. That is my second least favorite.
What's the first one?
Oh, it's the.
What's your least favorite? Sorry. Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's from the guy who directed Mandy, because it's just a bore of an episode.
Okay.
It's awful. Literally nothing happens until the last 5 minutes, which is cool practical effects, but the story itself is waste of time. A waste of an hour of my life I'll never get back.
Okay, so I might skip that one, because Graveyard Rats, there's some cool creature designs in there, I guess. But in the end of the day, I kind of just walked away and I was like, that was fine. I only watched it because it was the shortest one, and I literally had only 40 minutes to do something. So I'm like,
fair enough.
Let's watch this for 40 minutes. Up next, I have Wendell and Wild. I'm very sad about this one. I wanted to love this movie. I finally caught up on it, and man, the themes, the tones, everything is fucking clashing like crazy. Nothing. There's just seems to be no end game. I understand what they wanted to do with this movie. I understand a lot of the themes they wanted to do, but by the end, by the third act, it's a completely different movie. And I didn't really know, there's a lot of scripting issues in this film, I think is where a lot of my issues boggle down. The animation is stunning. I love the stop motion. I really like the characters in this. I thought that was the characters were the reason that I kept watching this. If it wasn't for the characters, I probably would have stopped watching this movie. Plus the music was very weird. There were certain choices in here where why are you the music? Yeah, why are you picking this type of music? I would have rather them done in them make music numbers if they wanted to. I don't know. Same. Very weird choices. Up next, I have Enola Holmes 2, which I actually think is worse than the first one, which kind of sucks. I really like the first one, but this one it just felt more the same. Millie Bobby Brown's not the problem. Neither is Henry Cavill, who is fucking great as Sherlock Holmes. And if you stayed up
more Henry Cavill in this one, so immediately you're wrong about it being worse.
I agree with you that it's better that he's in this, but I still think the story is not as great. There's a couple elements in here where it just feels I think I'm getting to the point with this. Every fucking Netflix movie like this just feels the fucking same. Like the way it looks, the way it acts, the way everything like that. And sometimes they're a little bit different, but like most of the time, I just like know it's a Netflix movie, and I'm just watching it, and I can't get into it. Like I genuinely can't get into it, and Enola Holmes 2 was kind of that for me. I really didn't like fully enjoy this one as much as I did the first one. But honestly, maybe I could rewatch the first one and kind of find the same stuff there. So anyways, jumping into my next one I watched this week was I rewatched The Broken Hearts Gallery with my fiance. She loves this movie, so we rewatched it. This is a really sweet movie. I like this rom-com. I love Zachary Montgomery. I think he's a very underrated actor, and I can't remember the main female actress's name, but she's also really great. So really appreciate that. Then up next we have.
Weirdly enough, I remember her last name, not her first, because
Really?
I remember her last name is Vishwanathan. Geraldine
Very.
Vishwanathan. Geraldine.
Oh, yep.
It is.
Yep.
Gerald. I didn't know she was Australian until now.
Huh.
Guys, Geraldine Vishwanathan is Australian. Continue.
Interesting. All right. Up next, I have Causeway, whatever, with Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henry. I missed my screening for this, so I decided to put it on yesterday, and I really liked it. It's very simple, movie. It's very effective, but it's beautiful, and I think this is a very performance-led movie. If these performances were not good, this would be a very dire and boring film. But what I can say is Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henry are incredible in this. Brian specifically, if this movie got more of a push, because the best supporting actor is not strong this year, I could see them easily getting him a nomination. He's one of it's probably like top 5 performances I've seen for the best supporting actor category, but really enjoyed this movie, was surprised by that overall. Then I saw another A24 movie this week called The Inspection. I was interested to see this. Did you see this one at any of the festivals? I didn't know, because it did.
I mean, it played at TIFF. It didn't play here, so I didn't have the chance.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where it played out or where it didn't play out, but I saw some of the reviews were a little middling. I really like this, and I think the thing to keep in mind when you go in to watch this is that the director and writer of this, it's based on his life. Like, the main character is him. So there is an added layer to this entire film, and it is a horror story for a gay black man joining a boot camp to go into the military. It's a horror story watching that. I really liked it, the direction. It's a little bit simple, but Jeremy Pope absolutely gives an incredible performance. I don't know if I would give him top 5 of the year, but it's definitely top 10. Definitely a top 10 performance of the year. In second this week, it is the Weird Al Yankovic story. I finally watched this. They sent me the screener literally like 8 hours before the movie was coming out. Holy shit, this is fucking funny. This is really funny. And I didn't know what to expect, because I thought the whole idea was dumb. Like, this really going to
I actually expected you to not like it very much, because this does for Weird Al what the Nick Cage movie did for Nick Cage.
But I still like the Nick Cage movie. I hated the CIA stuff. That's the stuff that kind of bogged that movie down for me. All the Nick Cage stuff I fucking loved. Weird, it's the same way. Where like in general, like I understand like why they would write some of the like the parodies towards like other genres, like the action genre clearly in here. And is it perfect? No, but it's so fucking funny. It is so funny. And I could not stop laughing about everything. Specifically, they give an origin story to Amish Paradise. And I thought it was so dumb, but so funny. So it's free to watch everywhere. Like, it's literally free. You do not need a subscription. You can literally go to the RokuChannel.com. You can literally download the Roku app. You can, if you have a Roku device, you can just go to the Roku app and look it up. It's fucking free. So if you do not watch this movie, you have a problem, unless for some reason you don't have any of those in your country. But my number one of the week was Black Panther. I rewatched this one and it is still perfect. This is one of my favorite MCU films, and not trying to do a selfish plug, but I do have a video essay that just went up yesterday about Black Panther. So definitely go check that out if you get the time.
All right. For me, I'm going to start at the very bottom with Wendell and Wild, because I agree with everything you said. The music choices were distracting. There was a momentary, I don't want to say a momentary moment, but where I immediately recognized, oh, I haven't heard this song in a while in any context, but once it sinks in and you just experience it through the context of the film, very weird song choices. There are just so many ideas put together in a pot and they don't necessarily mix. I like the idea of this girl who has to rehabilitate and get over the death of her parents. I like the idea of this mischievous demons who want to take over their father's kingdom. The voice acting is all great. I'm a fan of the character designs from an artistic level, but I think they're kind of quite ugly. So I couldn't get into the film much. It's just great concept, not great execution. On top of that, I'm going to have Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I finally watched this one,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's delightful. It's fluff, it's schmaltzy, it has no substance to it. The third act really gets like way too much with the sappiness and overt sentimentality. And but up until then, it's just really nice. It's really wholesome. Puts a smile on your face. Does it have any substance to it whatsoever? Not really. But does it need to? Also, not really. On top of that, I'm actually gonna have Breaking with John Boyega.
Oh,
Also,
his
finally watched
performance
this
is
one.
so good.
Amazing beginning, amazing ending. He is spectacular. Michael K. Williams, R.I.P. Also spectacular. The middle of the film dwindles a
Yep.
lot and it meanders quite a bit. Every time we step out of that bank, just the tension is relieved. The tension goes away. It completely deflates. And for some stupid reason, the bulk of the film is set outside the bank. Not in that intense situation where you're feeling the claustrophobia with this guy. And the real life story is very emotional and it really makes you angry for this guy.
Yep.
But the way they chose to tell this story just got in the way of its ultimate potential. This is a good one. I didn't hate anything I watched this week. Even Wendell and Wild, I'm glad I watched it once, so I can't talk about it, but I'll never watch it again. Like Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and now this. These are good movies, but they're extremely flawed. And so this is one I liked, but I really wanted to love. On top of that, I'm going to have Enola Holmes 2. I agree with you when it's more of the same, but I like more of the same. I like the ingenuity. I like the eccentricities. I like the style of it. This is from the driving force, one of the driving forces behind Fleabag, and you can tell the humor
Yep.
is really snappy. It's witty. It really works. Sometimes I was thinking, oh, you went for that really cheap joke, and then they come back around to it and they strengthen that joke. You can see some of the things coming from a mile away, but it's a family-friendly movie. It's not supposed to be one of the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes, or it's very complex.
Mhm.
But there are more pieces to this puzzle. It feels more engaging, and the more Henry Cavill is never a bad thing.
I want
So
that spinoff, man. I want that
I want
spinoff.
that spin-off. I don't know if I put this above the first one, but I'd say they're about the same because the first one doesn't overstay its welcome like this one does. The
This one
first one
overstays
is
its
not
welcome.
as action heavy as this one, and this one is more action heavy, but the action is so
It's
bad
filmed.
in the way that
Yeah.
it's shot. You can tell the choreography was there, but they just cut around it
It's like the director
in the
didn't
way
know how
that
to
takes
shoot
you
action.
out of the film. Yeah. On top of that, I'm going to have Speak No Evil. I believe this is a Paramount Plus original over there. Over here, it's on Shudder. Go into it completely blind. I think you're going to fucking love this movie, Zach, if
I
you
still
haven't
haven't
seen it.
watched it. Let me look up real fast. Is it a horror film?
Really fun.
Is it a horror
Yeah,
film?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You've
I can
100%.
sell my fiance to watch it tonight then.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really
Speak
good.
No Evil.
It's really good. And then
Oh, it's Shudder. Yeah, it's Shudder over here.
yeah, it's Shudder. It's really good. And then at the end, it starts to like over explain things, but the whole gist of it is very haunting. It's very real in a sense. I would actually describe it as something, but I'm going to wait for next week for after you've seen it so I can describe it. But it's really good. I recommend it. Paramount Plus in the States, Shutter over here, or maybe it's on Shutter in both places.
I
Just
think I've
search
seen
for
it.
it.
I think I've seen this.
And on
Played
top
it
of
at
that,
film festival.
my number one Weird the Ali Yankovic story. This is a go for broke, absurdist parody of the musical biopic genre, and it's 100% played straight. And you clock into it really fast. Like the silliest of situations are unfolding on screen, but everyone is 100% serious. Everyone is 100% committed. Like this door-to-door salesman goes to sell Weird Al an accordion, and his dad starts beating the shit out of him because he doesn't want his son to get that filth in his ears. And that's
polka party.
what you got.
Polka
What you
party.
got, yeah. And that's what you got ahead for an hour and 40 minutes. Even when it starts to do some revisionist history, and that's about as much as I will say, it goes nuts. It's very Weird Al, and I couldn't be happier. And by the way, I went into this never having seen that original Funny or Die sketch.
I've never seen it either.
So yeah, that's my weekly ranking. I did watch something else that I would put so far above Weird Al, but I can't talk about it yet. So let's leave
Put
it
in
at
the
that.
private chat.
No, it's not
Oh.
Black Panther. It's not Black Panther. So let's go into your
yeah. I forgot.
Let's go into your weekly rankings if you have them. Geek OEP kicks us off with my weekly ranking. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, still solid, but kind of with Zach. Okay. I watched Andor episode 10 in advance.
Same.
And it's the best episode yet, guys.
Yep.
It's the best episode yet.
Yep.
I was about to say this is like the weakest mini arc so far. But
ending
episode 10 kind of makes it the best one so far. So Endor episode 9 comes in at number 4. The Bad Guys comes in at number 3. The Bad Guys is so good. The Bear comes in at number 2, and I didn't finish The Bear. I watched this movie last year called Boiling Point, and it's the much better version of what The Bear was doing. Granted, I didn't finish the season, but I watched about 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh, you didn't get the 8? You didn't get the 8?
No, and I just is that the one where the brother appears? Because I know who plays the brother.
No, it's one shot take. Okay. The whole episode's a one shot take.
Oh, okay.
It's
Boiling
insane.
Point is a one shot movie.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely watch. Like, I really like The Bear. I need to watch Boiling Point, but The Bear, like, I watched it kind of just in the background. Once the brother came in, that even though it's not a long episode, it really starts to hit with the emotion, and then every episode from there I thought was the best episode. Like, it got better.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I just couldn't get into it because in my mind I kept thinking I've seen a much better version of everything this show is trying to do. And number 1, Atlanta season 4. That's still a show I need to watch, but only when Zach starts Fleabag I start Atlanta season 4.
No. I watched My Hero. Was
it for My Hero?
It was for My Hero. I watched all of My Hero for you. I still haven't watched the new season though, but that doesn't count.
I'm behind on the new season. I just saw the first.
I'm just waiting for it to finish because I've just come to the conclusion when it comes down to anime. Oh, see, when it comes down to anime, I just like binging it because when I binged the first however many seasons before the last one came out, that was the best way to experience it. And then waiting week to week on that last season, I was like kind of bored because like some episodes nothing fucking happens, which like I just forget that's anime sometimes. So yeah, no, I overhaul, man.
All right, and that does it for weekly rankings. I also watched are you watching Chainsaw Man?
No, I'm gonna wait until it's over.
All right.
I want to though.
I read that.
You'll be proud though. I read 2 of the manga for that one.
Nice. Congrats.
I didn't like it. Though.
I read
didn't like the manga. I didn't like them. I didn't like the manga.
Oh, you didn't?
Personally.
Okay.
No, my friend who works with me, who sits right next to me, all she does is read manga. So she has like every manga. So sometimes she'll be like, "Do you want to read it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?" So I was like looking through it. I'm like, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
All right, everyone. This week we got the release finally of the final movie in Phase 4, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the 2018 classic. Yes, I'll call it classic. I will be having a review for that earlier next week. I will be watching that either tonight or tomorrow, and then a review for that will come on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it's more convenient to me. But we finally have this movie arriving. And the biggest question regarding this film is, who is the Black Panther? Now, a ton of people have already seen the movie. A ton of people already know who that is. I'm sure somewhere, somehow, me and Zach have avoided, but the spoilers are out there. So if you know the answer to this,
The end credit
please
scenes on
do
YouTube.
not type it in the live chat. Do not
type any
whatsoever.
spoilers. Do not type any
Do not type
spoilers.
any kind of spoilers. But the question stands, or rather, two questions stand. Who will be the Black Panther, and who should be the Black Panther? Not just through Wakanda Forever, but by the end of Wakanda Forever. So we want to start this with, before we go into who should be, because I'm sure that's going to be the more hotly debated topic. Let's start with our hypotheses. Like, who could be the Black Panther going in? Obviously, we have Shuri, we have Nakia, we have M'Baku, we have Okoye, and Zach. This week, I saw a new theory. Didn't go into any details about it or anything, but I saw a new theory that suggested Namor could be the new Black Panther. I don't know how. That is an interesting theory. It's interesting enough.
Can
but
I
was
add
like,
2 more people to that list that you just said?
Okay, 2 more. Okay, we have 5. Let's go with 7.
I don't know how to say. I think it's Anika, and she's played by Michelle Cole.
Oh,
the
Michaela
new
Cole.
character.
Okay.
And then the other one's Angela Bassett. I'm still going on this train.
That's
I
a good
want
one.
her
I forgot.
suiting up like that What If episode when she fucking just went in like as that badass warrior. Come on. Who doesn't want to see, at least for one movie, Angela Bassett as the Black Panther?
That brings us into the other theory that you and I have heard, that throughout this film, several people are going to be taking on the Black Panther mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them could very well be Angela Bassett, Queen Ramonda.
I want you to know right now, if that happens, I will jump out of my seat and scream. like Look, if the mask comes down and I see Angela Bassett's fucking head, Oscar nomination, Oscar win at that point. I don't give a fuck. Claire Foy, you're in supporting. I haven't seen Women Talking yet. I've heard you're amazing in it, but I don't give a fuck. Give it to Angela. I apparently she's a front runner. I finally got my date for that, but still.
I will say this: I don't dislike that theory. I don't dislike that theory at all in principle. I also don't want the film to be playing hot potato with the Black Panther mantle. So, like, if we do get several people as the Black Panther, I'm guessing 3 tops, as essentially 1 per act, if anything. So, do you believe only 1 person? Because now the direction of the show depends on your answer to this question. Do you believe several people will be Black Panther, or do you believe we're just going to see 1 person taking on the mantle?
I think we see 2. I think we see 2 people.
You think you see 2? So several people. Doesn't matter how many. Doesn't matter the quantity. But
I think 2 at the most.
More than 1.
I think one in the start, 1 at the end, and then I will say this: I don't even think those 2 people remain the Black Panther after.
Okay, so you think 3? Because like
overall,
we're counting on this. Okay,
overall 3, I guess. Yeah.
So I agree. I think we're going to see several people as a Black Panther. So we're going to take our 7 names. We're going to discard the solo Black Panther theory. And Zach, you're going to start us off. Who is the first Black Panther in this film?
Shuri. It's going to be Shuri first because and I'll say this because, one, as you can tell, I have a Lego set behind me. It looks like Shuri's body is on there on the Lego set. That's just the way it looks for me. It could be wrong. Again, toys get shit wrong all the fucking time. I've seen this.
It looks like her.
Yeah, it literally looks like her. The suit looks like her. So, like, if Shuri is not one...
The suit has gauntlets.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And maybe there's multiple suits in this one that we just haven't seen yet. But, and honestly, like, here's the thing. Like, I've been kind of taking a little bit of a deeper dive into, like, some Black Panther comics over the last few weeks. And I decided, okay, I should probably read the Shuri ones just to kind of get a feel for it. And I don't hate it. It's not bad by any means. I think is it Latiti Wright? Latiti Wright? Letitia Wright. Letitia Wright's an incredible actress. That whole thing she did last
A
year with
questionable human being, but
yes,
a really good actress.
whatever that Prime show was, I can't remember off the top of my head who directed it. But she did like they were separate stories, but she was in one and she was great. And I think overall she was a big standout in the original Black Panther, and I'm excited to see what she does, you know, in this role. I think this is a very strong, and obviously she does have top billing in this movie, so I think that kind of does go for that route. And honestly, I trust Ryan Coogler. So like, even though I don't love the choice, and I think there's other characters that deserve that mantle more, I trust in Ryan Coogler to give her, like, if he were to say she's the main Black Panther going forward, I trust in them to give her that mantle and, you know, kind of just go forward with it. But again, that all goes down to writing.
All right. I also think the first Black Panther will be Shuri in this film. I don't like that choice. Even taking apart the whole, they should have recast T'Challa for this film, even taking that whole thing apart, Shuri, as she was established in the MCU, she's not a warrior. Shuri in the comics trained from birth alongside her brother, both mighty warriors of royal lineage that have everything that one needs to be the Black Panther. Shuri in the MCU has been established as the brains of the operation. She's not a warrior, nor does she want to be a warrior. And I'm sure she has fighting skills, but what she thrives at is technology. It's not fighting, and it's not something that ever appealed to her. And to be the Black Panther, you need to be an elite warrior. So this is not something that Shuri can pick up because her brother passed away and become this elite warrior, because she hasn't been training her whole life to be an elite warrior. She'll be good. She'll be quite good, depending on who's training her. Maybe her mom, and her mom kicks ass. But she's not that level of warrior. She never wanted to be. She doesn't need to be. We don't need to force her in this path. But if the story follows in that direction, I think it's very commendable that as a character, she would feel the responsibility for it and would try to carry on that mantle. So I think narratively that has potential if the goal of telling this narrative is to come to the conclusion of, I never wanted to be a warrior, I'm not trained to be a warrior, and I don't need to be a warrior. Where I excel is something else, and I can still be a hero without needing to put on this suit, without needing to carry on the legacy of my brother. So I think Shuri will be our Black Panther. I think she's not gonna, what's the term here, Zach? I don't think she's gonna stack up as a warrior. I think she's gonna find herself in a lot of trouble one-on-one against Atuma, against Namora, against Namor, the king of Talokan. So I think Shuri has a powerful narrative here to be fulfilled. So now I'm going to go into my second Black Panther. Because Shuri runs into trouble, because she is defeated, because she doesn't stack up, Queen Ramonda takes on the mantle of Black Panther. And she goes to war for her kingdom. And that's the bulk of this film. The second act, the all-out war between the kingdoms, is Queen Ramonda going against Namor. And I think that's going to be fucking awesome. At the same time, Queen Ramonda, she's a badass. She's an elite warrior. She is the queen of Wakanda, but she is not, she is no spring chicken. She has not been on this earth for 20, 30 years. She is in her 60s, or however Queen Ramonda is supposed to be. So I think she'll eventually get overwhelmed after putting up a big, very competitive fight up against Namor.
Do you think she dies?
That's when she... I don't. You're dealing with the real life and character death here. You don't need to punctuate that with another death. So yeah, I think she gets to be the Black Panther through the second act of this film before things really get nasty. Who is your second Black Panther? What happens after Shuri?
Same one as you.
Okay.
Same one as you. Now, I don't know. I don't think you've read reactions, and I don't want to get into those
I don't.
either.
I never do.
I've seen some, like, because I'm dumb and I don't want to mute stuff, and that's my thing. Like, because then I feel like I'll miss something. So, there's stuff that I have seen and read where, like, it's not spoilers or anything, but like they mostly just talk about those two actors. Like in almost every reaction, it's those two actors. So I'm like, I gotta think, but
Yeah.
I will say I
Put
don't
two and two
think
together.
I would not. I don't think it's Ramonda. Ramonda. Is that how
Ramonda.
it's Ramonda? I don't think Ramonda is the final battle with Namor. I think she's like the next, like the middle big fight with Namor. And I think something happened. Yeah. I think something happens to where Shuri has to put it back on, and the final fight with Namor or whatever is between both of them. Or maybe there is no final fight. Maybe this is going to be like an ideology battle. Maybe it'll be more of a discussion, which Ryan Coogler's a very great director at, dialogue and everything and emotion. So I am with you on that. Angela Bassett, 100%, man. I've been fucking hyping this for like months. I want Angela Bassett in that suit. Like, don't get me wrong. There's like, I would love to see M'Baku, but I look at that suit, guys. There's no way M'Baku's in that fucking suit. I'm just saying, like, Winston Duke is a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not Okoye, because Okoye has that new like blue armor, I think, like that I saw in like a pop and stuff or a poster. The only other close one
she doesn't have that in the Funko. The Funko
she doesn't?
just has that in the red onesie and the leather jacket.
Okay. The only thing I'll say, man, I think if you want to argue, maybe Lupita Nyong'o, but I don't see it. But I wouldn't mind if she's the one going forward.
She should be Black Panther, which is why idealistically she's going to be my third Black Panther, because she is the queen in waiting. She is the wife to be of the late great King T'Challa. She is not only an elite warrior of her tribe who could have challenged T'Challa in the first film, she is a diplomat. Now that Wakanda has opened itself to the world, now that Wakanda finds itself at war with his kingdom of Talocan, Nakia is the ideal candidate not only to be the queen, not only to be the leader of Wakanda, but to be its protector going forward. She fits all the bills. She ticks all the boxes. Literally, figuratively, she is the perfect candidate to carry on the mantle of Black Panther. So to me, it's just such an easy decision. Plus, you get Lupita Nyong'o, one of the best actresses working today, to be the Black Panther going forward. If your direction is this, we're not going to cast T'Challa, so we have to find a replacement to take on the mantle of Black Panther, Nakia over M'Baku, over Queen Ramonda herself, over Okoye, over Shuri. She is the perfect match to take on this mantle of Black Panther. So hopefully I'm right. Not just to say that I'm right, but because it's the thing that fits the best with everything that has been established in the MCU, in the Black Panther mythos. And so I think that's like the only right direction to go if you are not going to recast Chadwick Boseman T'Challa. This is the right direction to go for me. So there's no two questions about it. I think Nakia should absolutely be the new Black Panther going forward, and I think she'd be amazing in the role. Obviously,
exactly,
because it wouldn't be a stretch to buy her as a warrior and as the lead of her own franchise. So here's hoping. All right, everyone. We need to know your thoughts on this, your comments, your theories, your opinions. Who should be? Who will be? Black Panthers galore, anything and everything down there. And now we're going to move on to your questions on the community tab. Don't forget, you can also ask us questions through the tip link in the description or through Superchat, and we guarantee those questions to be answered. And we start in the community tab with Lady Erin. What are your thoughts on Westworld being shockingly canceled after 4 seasons? I wouldn't say it's shockingly. I was bummed. I think it's a shame because they had a plan. They were going to do one more season and that's it. And stupidly enough, they're still going to pay the actors. And granted, that's not a choice. That's a legality that comes with it because they only canceled it now and all that. But if you're going to spend the money anyway, do the 5th season. But I'm not. I wasn't shocked. I was bummed. I think it's a shame. But after season 4, there's enough of a full circle element to the story. There's enough of a resolution where, out of all the shows that I've always loved to have ever been canceled, I'm fine enough. I'm content enough with what we got for 4 seasons with Westworld. And if we don't get any other one anymore, it's done. The story came to a resolution. I'm happy with it. Zach, what do you think?
I'm incredibly sad. I love the show Westworld. I wasn't a fan of season 3. Where season 2 had good moments, but it's still like, for me, season 1 and 4 were great. But overall, I still loved this show. I loved diving in each week and seeing what fucking mind-boggling idea they were going to touch on. And you know, for me, I think there's a lot of things that went into this. One, Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan don't have a deal with HBO anymore. Their deal is with Amazon for any future shows they develop. This was the last show that they had at HBO. So I think that's one thing Zaslav probably looked at and was like, what's the point of me keeping this show? You guys aren't with us anymore. You're not going to develop anything for me anymore. You have an exclusive deal at Amazon. There's that. The other thing with it is stupid. You know, the actors had a pay or play in their contracts. So you still have to fork out like $25 million to these fucking actors. You could have given them a smaller budget. I'm not saying a hugely smaller budget, but a smaller budget to make the last season. You genuinely could have. And I think they honestly probably would have gone for it. The other thing to also keep in mind is this is a Bad Robots production. Now J.J. Abrams has 0 things in development at HBO. So now you are paying J.J. Abrams to sit on his ass and do nothing. So there's a lot of
J.J. Abrams is wiping his tears with dollar bills.
Like, there is a lot of dumb choices in here. And I understand you're trying to cut back, make money, do whatever. This don't look good for you. The show still had its fan base, while it is considerably dropped. Like, if you look at that report and see the graph, I mean, if they were going to cancel it, they should have canceled it after season 2. Season 3 had season 2 had a massive drop off, or cancel it after season 3 and not give us 4, because 3 had, like, no one was watching 3. Like, it was very low, and I don't blame people for stopping, but season 4 got back on board, and season 4 might have had the lowest of all of it. But there's still a fan base right there. Like, it's just, you just hold down the budget and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not a businessman. What can I say? They definitely, I think it looks bad on the company though, to cancel something when it was going into its last season, specifically because everyone knew it was. But like Ren said, the way it ended, I'm not sitting there going, oh my God, it ended in the biggest cliffhanger possible. Was it a cliffhanger? Exactly. Sure. No. I mean, you could argue, but it is a full circle thing. And I even said in my finale review, this feels conclusive. Like, if they said this is it, that I could be okay with that. I think some people won't be. I understand you want more. I want more. Trust me. But also keep in mind, a lot of characters died in the finale. So it would be a very unique way. Yeah, most characters died. Like, I'm sure most of them probably would have came back because that's how Westworld works.
Somehow, some way.
But I'll say this. I will not be shocked if for some reason we do get a conclusive thing years from now, like Deadwood did. But I'm not going to hold out hope. I just
hope it's not that long. I just hope it doesn't take as long as Westwood did.
So I love this show. I had a blast with it. I'm genuinely sad about it. But I'm genuinely sad about a lot of shows that end up getting canceled or stopping. Like, that's true. You know, so it's all about money. I mean, it's all about money, and all I can hope is HBO, get your shit together. I mean, let's
all right,
and send me the last.
Lady Erin, are you guys going to get multiple copies of Top Gun on physical media or not? I am, for reasons I will not discuss here, but I have my Steelbook pre-ordered. Not pre-ordered. I had my Steelbook My Steelbook is
Let's not
arriving
get
next
into
week.
it. Yeah, that's cool.
My Steelbook
Which one is
arriving
it? Is it the one of him in the jet?
in the jet, like this
Okay,
way.
I know there was like 2
Yeah.
or 3 different versions, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one's
yeah.
cool.
Lady Aaron, we finally have a release date for the Last of Us series on HBO Max, January 15th, 2023. Are you guys excited for it or not really? I think we've spoken about The Last of Us every chance we get, so we are very excited. I've already started sending out emails.
Have you gotten a
So
reply back?
yes, I am excited. No, not yet, but it's fine. I
So
sent them like
this is where
yesterday.
I'm at.
Yeah.
This is how excited I am, guys, and I'm already peaking in January. Last of Us, Dune.
Mandalorian.
I don't give a fuck. Mandalorian's a little under that, but Last of Us my most anticipated show movie.
Oh,
thing
speaking
for
of, by
next
the
year.
way, finally, it's available again. The Dune Steelbook. I've been waiting for like a year at this point to get my Dune Steelbook, and now it's finally available over here, and I finally got it. Not at a fucking inflated price. I got it for the regular Steelbook pricing because it was sold out for the bulk of the
Oh my
year.
god! Oh my god! It's
Finally
back on
arriving this
sale out
week.
here too.
It is. It
Oh my
is. So I
fucking
finally
god!
got my. I didn't own Dune in Blu-ray or any kind
Oh fuck.
of copy of Dune because I needed that
Well,
steelbook.
so what
And it's
ended up
finally come.
happening is the Steelbook my pre-order got canceled. So I never
Oh,
got it. So I
oh.
ended up I forgot that I requested it through Warner Brothers, so then I just like
Mhm.
came in. I was like, "Oh, cool, I have a 4K for it." Dude, fuck that. Is yours the one of the dune, like the sand?
Yeah, of them running down. There's also an edition with that's the box of pain. You can put your
Oh
hand
yeah,
in
I
it.
saw that.
But it's not steelbook. So for only for $5 more, I prefer to get the steelbook for $5 cheaper. Pounds, not dollars. I don't pay in dollars. That's stupid. Lady Aaron, are there any video games that you are for sure getting before the end of 2022? And if so, which ones they are? For me, it's the God of War Ragnarok. Got that pre-order collector's edition coming. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and maybe I'll get Gotham Knights. But that's it. Zach?
What was the question? Sorry, I'm still like
Video games you're getting before the end of 2022, and if so, which ones?
God of War. I will not be. I mean, I'm still making videos next week, but I will not be on social media that much. I did not know Pokemon was open world till a couple days ago. So now I
Oh,
am.
I didn't tell you that? Okay.
Dude, I didn't know how open world it was. I was like,
Oh, it's open. Well, you can literally start
dude,
at the 8th gym.
dude, I was like legit, like fucking shook by how like open that was. So that is like 100% a hands down like must buy. Now I don't know if I'll get it first day, but I definitely will. Not getting Gotham Knights. I'm not getting Gotham Knights, sadly. I don't care for it. And then Callisto Protocol. I'm very excited for that. It's a brand new horror game from the guys who made Dead Space. It looks fucking brutal and
There's a remake
badass.
coming out for that. Not a remake, a remaster for that.
Yeah,
Space,
they
right?
have a special edition right now where you can buy it and get the
Nice.
helmet. But
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if I'm gonna
cool.
do that. I want the helmet, but I'm like, do I want it that bad? We'll see.
Yeah.
Dude, they just redid all their fucking steelbooks. There's a new Batman steelbook out too, but I don't need that one.
I have that one. I have a
Do you?
collector's
Which one do you
edition for
have?
the Batman.
Which one do you have for that one?
It comes like with a booklet of like behind the scenes stuff and the Riddler things, like the Riddler letters come
Okay.
with it. I'd have to rummage for it, so I'm not going to take it out now. But yeah, it's a
Okay.
really cool edition. Lady Aaron, in light of Westworld's cancellation, what are some shows that were canceled that you think should have went on for much longer? I say this all the time. Flash Forward is 100%. Is 100% a show that should have gone on for longer. It's a show that is ripe for a reboot these days because it's the kind of story that people get engaged, that has found an audience these days. It's not so much a procedural, but a long-ranging story that engages you, that is a mystery, that has lots of complex details to it, and it's just fucking fascinating. I love that show. Firefly for a while was the show to
Yeah.
get something else after getting canceled, but we got Serenity, and I'll never not thank the movie gods for Serenity. The good Serenity, not the Serenity that Zach likes. And Awake with Jason Isaacs. Those are like the three for me. Zach, do you have any shows you
Pushing
like to save?
Daisies, very fucking underrated. Lee Pace is fucking incredible in that. Have you ever heard of this show?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's very good, very well made, and I have a blast with that. It made me sad when it got canceled.
Oh, Jico EP put something in the live chat. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Avengers
that's a
Earth's
good one.
Mightiest Heroes. Yep.
Yep.
One more season. We just need one more season. That again, Disney, do it. Fucking do it. Fucking do
I know
it.
they did Clone Wars. Let's see it.
Yeah, they did Clone Wars. Lady Aaron, what are your thoughts on the Avatar 2 trailer? And great video of your reaction towards the trailer, by the way, Zach. Didn't see it, will not see it. So Zach, do you want to elaborate on any other thoughts to answer this question? Because I can't.
Yay. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm a huge fan of Avatar. I love Avatar. So I'm very excited to see how they make this movie. But let me tell you right now, that trailer is everything I need and more. The thing I love about James Cameron's Avatar is that it doesn't mind about going through the mundane and just kind of showing you the world. Because, you know, a lot of indie films do that, and sometimes for their detriment. And maybe that's the detriment of some James Cameron, like, isms with the Avatar franchise, but like I'm all for it because I just love being sucked into that world. So I'm okay. Like, I don't want to know any more of the story. I don't want to know a single tidbit. Like, the main plot of the story is humans are coming back. They want to fucking destroy the planet. Like, that's the same thing. It's what a sequel is. But you know, James Cameron, he's going to make it fucking double down and make it even bigger. That's how Terminator to Terminator 2 was. That's how Alien to Aliens 2 was. Like, so just give me it. He has 4 more sequels after this. All I want is this to be better. 4. Because he
is it
1, 2,
Avatar
3,
6?
and then he's filming. Oh, sorry. So I guess 3 because he's going up to 5.
Because you said after this, so I was like, wait, there's an Avatar 6?
But that's all I want, man. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just badass. And there is one badass shot in here though that I'm not going to talk about, but like, it's fucking like, it's so like awesome, like just in the context of it. So I'm all for it.
Lady Aaron, do you prefer getting movies in physical format or on digital, and why? Very obvious answer coming from me. I refuse to buy anything digitally. If I can't touch something with my hands, I don't own it. And so I refuse the notion of paying for movies digitally. I want to buy a comic book. I want to buy an action figure. I want to buy a Blu-ray. I want to buy anything that I want to own. I buy it physically. A game. I don't do digital. I think that's utter bullshit to ask someone to pay for something that you cannot physically touch. Netflix is completely different. Netflix or Disney Plus or Prime Video, you're paying for access to an entire library of thousands of movies and TV shows and shorts and anime. You're paying for access. You're not paying to own the things. But to buy a movie on digital, I think that's complete bullshit. I don't judge anyone who does it. It's always a priority of space, of saving money, even though digital is not that cheaper, even though it should be. For myself, I buy physical. I refuse to ever buy anything digitally. Zach?
I will only buy it digitally if I have to. And then if I do buy it digitally, I will probably end up buying a physical copy later on. But when it comes down to movies, specifically, like that's with gaming. With movies, physical every time. If it's not physical, I don't want to buy it. Like Barbarian, I will not buy that thing on digital. I just won't. I'm not spending $25 fucking on a movie I can't own.
All right, Lady Aaron, I'm wondering if Wakanda Forever will mark the end of Marvel Phase. It will. That's just a fact that we know. It marks the end of Marvel Phase 4. If so, what would be your overall thoughts on Marvel Phase 4? And are you looking forward for Phase 5 of the MCU? Well, always looking forward to more MCU, so that's a question that answers itself. Overall thoughts on Phase 4, I can only answer that after watching Black Panther Forever. So
what about
feel free to ask that again next week.
Where's that supposed to be at? Isn't that 4
I think
technically?
That's outside, because they've said very clearly like Wakanda Forever is the ending of Phase 4. I think the special presentations are very much, they exist, but they're not necessarily.
Should I do a Phase
even
4
the phases
ranking?
are like so loose. If you didn't have the notion of phases, it would be the exact same thing.
So should I do Phase 4 ranking after Wakanda, or should I wait? That's what I've been debating. I don't know.
I would do after Wakanda, and then on when the holiday special comes out, you can do Guardians of the Galaxy movies ranked, and you have 3 movies.
True.
Or
That'll
2
probably be
movies and a
last place.
special, I guess.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
And
It looks fun, but
Guardians
I'm not giving.
and Volume 2 will be first place. All right. What's Lady Aaron? With season 1 of House of the Dragon over with, if you were to combine season 1 of House of the Dragon with all 8 Game of Thrones seasons in the ranking, where would House of the Dragon 1 sit within that list, and why? Again, when you ask rankings, we need like time to think about and really thoroughly examine all the pros and the cons. It would rank high for me. I will say that, but I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know, because it's been a while since I've watched Game of Thrones. Zach, do you have anything to add?
No, I kind of just feel the same way.
All right. Lady Aaron, what are some movies that you regret about never seeing them in a movie theater? For me, this answer will always be I have 3 actually, but the one that is like always haunted me was WALL-E for the longest time. For some reason, I never watched WALL-E in theaters. Another one would be Inception, but that one I remedied. The first time I watched Inception was at home, but then after a while, I got the chance as it celebrated its 10th anniversary right before Tenet. I was able to finally watch it on a big screen in IMAX, and it was fucking glorious. And the third one is Blind Spotting. I wish I could have seen that. It's not like IMAX experience, not like a theater movie, but the theater is always the best experience to watch a movie. So I wish I could have watched that great movie on a movie theater. If you haven't seen Blind Spotting, watch Blind Spotting. Zach?
Interstellar is my biggest miss. I didn't get to see that one in theaters, so that one always hits me. They haven't really done a re-release in the United States, at least in my state, so I haven't been able to see it. Blind Spotting, yeah, that would have been another one, specifically because they had 4 screenings for that one, and I never went. Yeah, those 2 definitely off the top of my head, I think. I would say.
All right. Thoughts on the Bayonetta 3 controversy that happened a couple of weeks ago? If you guys have heard about it, no idea what this is.
I know what it is.
Do you?
I can speak on it. Yeah. So the controversy was the original voice actress was only offered like $4,000 to come back after the franchise made tons of money, I've heard about and all this stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I have not dove in more to this, but if you apparently do dive into it, they're kind of, both parties are kind of wrong. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. It's because I'm not fully versed in it. I was originally on the original voice actress's side, but then I started reading both sides, and I'm like, okay, they just both fucked up, I think. But fair. I don't know. I like the Bayonetta series, but I'm not huge. Like I'll probably end up getting the third one like early next year, but will I actually play it? Probably not. Because I haven't played the first 2 in a while, so I'd have to do a replay.
Movies and Trading Studios. What are your guys' thoughts on Babylon supposedly being 3 hours long? We talked about this last week. Runtime does not make a movie better or worse. So let's hope all those 3 hours are filled with Chazelle goodness that has no fat needing to be trimmed.
Chazelle goodness.
Chazelle goodness.
I dig that.
Do you have anything to add?
I know it's 3 hours, so
I know you're gonna steal that for your review. By the way, I just know it's gonna be lost in your subconscious, and then you're gonna use it in your Chazelle
goodness. Oh, probably, and I'll completely forget that you said that. But and if I do, please call me out. But I love Damien Chazelle. Babylon could be
everyone. When Zach's review for Babylon comes out, it's gonna come out way before mine. You need to call him out in the comments, like, hey, that's not your thing. Lady Aaron, what are some movies that deserve to get a sequel, and what are some movies that have an unnecessary sequel? Movies that should have movies with unnecessary sequels. Everything after Halloween 2. Anything and
everything after Halloween. Not even Halloween 2. No, I mean,
no.
I like, but
I really like Halloween 2. I really like Halloween 2.
I do not like Halloween 2.
It feels like a necessary extension of the original. So any timeline, even with H2O, and H2O is really cool.
H2, H2 is
anything after that, even the Rob Zombie remakes, nothing should have happened. Movies that deserve to get a sequel. Well, we're finally getting Man of Steel 2, so that's awesome.
Nice, guys.
Real Steel should have gotten a sequel. Dread should have gotten a sequel. John Carter should have gotten a sequel. And finally, of course, the second most underrated movie of all time, Treasure Planet, should have gotten a sequel.
You forgot one that I'm surprised you didn't say.
Go ahead.
Power Rangers remake, man.
Yep. I immediately, as soon as I said go ahead, I'm like, he's gonna say Power Rangers, and you did.
Yep,
Thank you for calling me out on that.
Yeah.
There's still hope.
I have no hope.
Tobes, will you guys be watching The White Lotus season 2? And also, what are your thoughts on season 1? I've started season 2 of The White Lotus. Did you watch season 1?
I was gonna ask you, so I've never watched it, but I want to watch the second season for Aubrey Plaza. Do I need to watch this first season?
There's one character that returns.
Is that the one? Is that the one that won?
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the rundown. Jennifer Coolidge in the first season, she's going to this resort, the White Lotus in Hawaii, because she wants to get over her mother's death. She's taking her mother's urn with her so she can spread the ashes in the ocean. So it's very comedic about how she is coping with her grief and all that. And eventually she gets to do that, to spread her mother's ashes through the ocean. But she also meets a guy around her age, like 50, 60, who has a terminal illness. And they get together. And so now in this season, she has an assistant. She is married to this guy. And she's a member of the exclusive VIP clientele of this chain of resorts around the world.
It's a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy, but it's very weird. I'm liking this one so far better because the first one is such a...
Do you know the story behind the first one?
No.
So HBO did not have a series. Like, they always have a show on Sunday. They didn't have a show for 8 weeks. So they sent a bunch of writers off and said, you need to write something within a week. That was the season 1. It was not supposed to.
Do you know who the creator and writer of the show is?
No, I have zero idea.
Mike White. Do you know who Mike White is?
No.
He is the guy that before the controversy about giving actors of color the opportunity to voice characters of color, he was the guy that for years voiced Cleveland on Family Guy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. But yes, I'm watching The White Lotus season 2. I enjoyed the first season, but it's so weird with its tone. Because, like Weird Al Yankovic, the Weird Al movie, you watch that and it's like ridiculous situations are happening. Everyone is playing it serious. Okay, this is a parody, 100%. White Lotus doesn't fully commit to the drama, doesn't fully commit to the comedy, so it finds itself in this weird limbo that is fascinating to watch. But it's a show I really can't figure out. That's just me, but I enjoyed it. Tobes asks, hey Ren, I love a Power Rangers question. Thank you for asking this. What are some of your favorite Power Rangers opening theme songs? Mine are In Space, Lost Galaxy, and Lightspeed Rescue. I really love Dino Charge. Mega Force, despite being one of the worst seasons, like top 3 worst seasons, as a really cool, like it's a variation on the original, sure, but the guitar riff on the Mega Force season is just so cool. Obviously, the original by Ron Wasserman, that gets a shout out. Zeo is really cool. I'm going to put Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, and Time Force right up there. With a shout out to Dino Thunder as well. It kind of seems, for those not knowledgeable about Power Rangers, I'm not naming every theme song. There are many theme songs that I left out. But to me, Time Force, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, that was a stretch there. The late Saban era, the late original Saban era was really fucking cool. What I didn't like about the Samurai and the Mega Force ones were when they had like the voices through this theme song saying the names of the characters. Like we can see the screen, we can read it. We don't need to have the voices spelling it out. But anyway, that's a nitpick. Eric Thorpe reviews. With it being Femke Jensen's birthday today, Just thought I'd ask if you guys agree with me that she is a super underrated actress and deserves better movies overall, because what she's been in post X-Men has mostly been not great, to say the least. I like her as an actress. Like, I never dove deeper into her filmography, but everything I've seen, I enjoyed. I think she's good. I don't know that she's underrated, but again, I haven't seen her in much post or pre X-Men. I know she was in one of the Bond movies, but the X-Men movies are like what she became known for. Like, that's what made her a name. So yeah, Zach, are you more familiar with Femke Jensen's filmography overall?
Not at all.
All right. Sorry, Eric. Let me just refresh in case we have more questions. And Nathan Holton, thoughts on Topher Grace rumors as Venom in Madam Web? I hope they're fake. I read the headline and I immediately scrolled past it because I had no patience for it.
Do you think that is something Sony would do? Because I absolutely think it is.
I don't know what is a low for Sony because they keep
They just did
scooching
Morbius.
lower and lower. Yeah, I Morbius was so beyond. This wouldn't be like beyond stupid like Morbius was. It would just feel like. I understand why Marvel brought Toby back. I understand why they brought Andrew Garfield back. I understand why they're bringing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, as Logan. I don't understand why you'd bring Topher Grace back.
I don't know why Topher Grace would want to do it.
Exactly. Also that. Nathan Holton, thoughts on Aubrey Plaza cast in Agatha? All right. I mean, I hope she keeps not being April Ludgate, because after Parks and Rec, she played April Ludgate for a while. She's great in Emily the Criminal. I finally saw something different from her. White Lotus, she seems to also be.
Have you seen Blackberry yet?
There. Blackberry? No.
Black Bear.
Black Bear? No.
If you get a chance, it's her and Christopher Abbott. It's an indie film.
Okay.
She is fucking incredible. I didn't love the movie. She's so fucking good in that movie, though. She is
cool.
So good in that movie. Ingrid Goes West. She's also. It's
just
really
like
performance.
Also, never seen that. That is the one that I know. Like, people like her, but people like her in everything. And everything I've seen her in is like, she is playing April Ludgate. She is playing April Ludgate. She's playing April Ludgate. And it wasn't until I saw Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I watched Parks and Rec earlier this year. I'm like, that's what she's doing in everything I see her in. And her as April Ludgate is actually really cool. I think she really works with that character. Nathan Holton. But what are your thoughts on Aubrey Plaza casting Agatha? Supposedly casting Agatha.
I'm curious to see who she's playing. I was trying to do some research on that. There's a lot of options. She's rumored to be playing the villain, which will be interesting because Agatha's a cool character. Like, if they do, this show could either be the dumbest thing they're fucking doing, or the
I think it should be a special presentation.
100% agree with you. It's 9 episodes, but it does have the WandaVision. Like, everyone involved with WandaVision is involved with this show. So I'm curious to see what they can do. So bring it on. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Nathan Holton, thoughts on Bob Odenkirk rumors in Wonder Man? I like this, and he's obviously the villain because he is the manager. Zach?
It's the most obvious casting you could have done. And do I like that? No, I don't. I honestly, really? I want Bob Odenkirk in the MCU, not as this. I want him in because this feels like a one and done, in my opinion. Like, it feels like they'll have him as this character and that'll be it. It'll be an awesome thing. Maybe he'll finally win a fucking Emmy, but there was something I heard a while ago of what they wanted him to do, but Sony didn't want to do it. Was Norman. I heard this a while ago. Was that they wanted to bring Norman into the MCU, but then they ended up going that I would love Anthony Starr. But I really was fixated on Bob Odenkirk as that. And I was
you were.
Fuck, man, that would be so fucking good. But it's not going to happen. So I mean, it's great casting. Don't get me wrong, but I'm excited for Wonder Man though. I'll say that Dustin producing and writing it. I'm for it.
Yaya as Wonder Man. I'm loving it. Nathan Holton, do you think Vin Diesel is in? Okay, is in Avatar 2? Rumors. There's rumors he will be in one of them. This is the first I'm hearing about it, Nathan. I don't think so, from what I know, but if he is, we surely know that the main theme of the movie will be family. Zach?
Where'd these rumors come from? That's my
internet.
question. I'm gonna look this up, man. You can go to the next question. If I find anything, I'll let you know.
Nathan Holton, do you believe Fantastic Four won't be announced until Comic-Con next year? No, I think we'll hear about it before that. Because even if it is supposed to be announced at Comic-Con next year, it's gonna leak beforehand. Because that's just what happens. So, Zach, what do you think?
What was the question? I just finally found the interview. Why this is rumored.
Do you think Fantastic Four won't be announced until Comic-Con next year? I said no. Not even close. But even if they do plan on announcing it at Comic-Con, it's going to leak beforehand. So either way, it won't be announced at Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's no way. So if they show up in Ant-Man and copy your idea, that's when we find out.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you.
I'm getting a little bit closer to where I don't think they're going to have them ready for Ant-Man. I don't. Okay. I sadly don't. Your concept is everything is coming true, except that one key thing is like the only thing that's like, I think Kevin's like, we can't do it. We're copying this guy's idea. Like we can't put them. We'll put them in the next movie. But
just send me a check. I don't mind. Yeah. Send me a check, and you can use the idea, and then cast me as Nova.
Richard but no matter what. There's no way we live in the age where no matter whatever happens, it'll get leaked out beforehand.
It's gonna get leaked. Yeah, 100%.
Like my favorite thing at 2019's Comic-Con was Kevin going, and the one thing that hasn't leaked, 2-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali. Like it was just because everything else had leaked out before then. The Thor sequel, all that.
So you can keep my idea. Just send me a check. Yeah. My email is renviera93@gmail.com. Cast me as Richard Rider Nova, and let me just give you some ideas. The tagline for the Nova movie should be "Dick Rider will fly."
I love it.
So there you go. Greatest tagline
I found the
of all
Avatar
time.
thing, by the way, if you want to
go ahead.
Vin Diesel said in an interview after being asked about the rumors, "I've spent time with him, but I have not filmed yet. I love James Cameron, and I love." There's a pop-up ad that now popped up. Can't see the rest of it. But, I love the series. I think it's safe to say that we'll be working together soon.
Yeah. Rumors come from, I don't know. I don't see it happening, but maybe. Nathan Holton, what trailers do you believe will come out this year for 2023 movies?
John Wick, another John Wick trailer.
Oh, I mean, but we've already gotten at least one for that. I was thinking Mission Impossible, but we've also already got one for that. Indiana Jones. Give us one for Indiana Jones with Avatar.
That's coming with Avatar. Yeah, that has to be. Or maybe even
Avatar 3.
Black Panther. Or maybe.
Yeah.
Don't count that out. No, because Avatar 3 is still 2 years away. I don't.
Doesn't matter. It's Jimmy Cam's, baby. They already shot it.
It's done. The movie's done, dude.
A quick glimpse.
Like, I'll tell you this, because you know how Rogue Squadron was supposed to come out next year, and then it got pulled, and then Star Trek went on there, Star Trek got pulled, and then they moved Aquaman there. If Aquaman did not move there, guarantee they would have moved Avatar 3 up.
I don't know, because I don't think the post-production is done. I think the filming, the shooting, the production is done. I don't think post is. I don't think so.
I thought it was.
But yeah. Nathan Holton, thoughts on A Quiet Place Day 1 casting? Lupita Nyong'o is going to star in the spin-off. I'm really happy because I love Lupita Nyong'o. Everything I said about her taking the mantle of Black Panther, I bring those words back for this because she's an incredible actress. Zach?
I'm still just more excited that the director of Pig is doing this. So
that's true. Nicolas Cage in A Quiet Place Day 1.
And also in that interview, in that article, didn't they say John Krasinski was coming back for part 3?
Yes,
and no one talked about that.
Yeah, but it wasn't part of the question. That's why I
No,
personally didn't
no
necessarily
problem.
either.
That was the more exciting thing for me.
But yes, we're completing the trilogy with Krasinski coming back. One of the greatest trilogies of all time, maybe. We'll see. Gigo EP, this is not a spoiler for Wakanda Forever or even for Ironheart, but do you think we'll get a cameo from MJ and Ned since they got into MIT and they're going to visit Riri at MIT?
No. I think they said that
I
this
don't.
movie takes place around No Way Home and Thor.
Yeah, I don't
So
think so. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. Yeah. Hang on. I need to put my computer charging. Just give me 1 second. Gigo EP, you guys saw what Tarantino said about the MCU directors. Plus, I know you guys feel this too, but are you guys seeing an article about? But are you guys tired of seeing an article about a famous filmmaker talking shit about Marvel superhero films in general? Yes. Uh, I get the movies and genre aren't everybody's cup of tea, and it's debatable about how it's been taking over the industry. But don't put down a lot of the hard work that goes into these films. I agree. It's exactly that. But like, I didn't read the article extensively. But what I did see, it's Tarantino saying those guys are hired hands. I'm not looking for a job. Yeah, because not everyone is fucking you, Quentin. Not everyone gets the luxury of being in your position. Everyone is a hired hand. It's a job. So you got to hire people to do the job. That's how you cut your teeth in this industry. And unfortunately, you're a rare exception. So on principle, I don't think he was saying anything bad. They are hired hands. You hire people to make movies. It's the movie business. It's the industry. That's
and his
literally
quote
how
was
it
more
works.
in depth than what was going on. Like he gave,
Yeah.
like his quote was very in depth. Like he talks like he doesn't hate these movies. I think he even said he likes them. He's just that's not his cup of tea. Like I'm tired of people asking directors.
Yeah, don't
like
ask.
like stop asking. Like clearly Quentin Tarantino is not the type of director to direct a fucking Marvel film. Like neither.
And honestly, I wouldn't want him to.
No. Do you remember though? He was supposed to do a Luke Cage film. He was in talks to do a Luke Cage film.
He was supposed to do a Star Trek film.
I would have fucking loved that, but
I don't know. Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film. I don't think it fits at all.
Fuck yeah, R-rated fucking Star Trek. Hell yeah. I want to hear Bones say the C word, say the F word. You don't want to hear Carl Urban say that? I already hear it in Boys. I want to hear him say it in
Live long and fuck off.
Yeah. So I don't know. This didn't really bother me. I think a lot of the time these contexts come out, people don't read the full interview.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
What are two films from different genres but have the same issue? For example, I'll use Me Time and A School for Good and Evil. Still haven't seen that one. The latter one. I unfortunately did see Me Time. On face value, they're completely different aside from being Netflix films, but they share similar problems, premises that don't live up to their fullest potential due to either underwritten or lazy writing and wasting their talent cast with one-note characters. Again, I haven't seen School for Good and Evil yet. It's a good question, but it's like a tough one off the top of my head. Because one answer would be Halloween, that it's the final chapter in someone's story, but it's focused on someone else entirely. What's another movie that does that, though? Like, off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but it's such a good question. Zach, do you have anything that comes to mind?
So they can't be a part of the same franchise?
No, the question inherently asks two films of different genres that have the same issue.
Two different. Nah, I don't know. It's a good question, but like I don't know.
No, but it's a really good question. So this is one I really wish I could.
Why don't we take it to this? Why don't we take his question? What are films that don't live up to the fullest potential that they could have?
Halloween Ends. Halloween Kills. Halloween 2018.
How about we just get out of the Halloween franchise?
It's just so recent in the mind, man. Just so recent.
I know.
Not a movie, but She-Hulk.
Yeah, I agree.
And She-Hulk had tremendous potential.
I don't care. You know what Marvel film did live up to its potential though, and
Eternal.
Maybe just Exactly.
There you go.
1 year.
Video essay on the channel, everyone. Go check it out.
Fuck. I love that movie so fucking much.
Same. Sodium 285. What do you think of the cancellation Fate the Wink saga? I gonna be honest, I really don't care. I couldn't give less of a shit, my friend. Never watched it. Never wasted a single second of my eyeballs on it. So I can't pretend I care.
I have thoughts on this, but not specifically.
Go ahead.
So
by the way, my housemates watched it. They enjoyed it a lot. No judgment.
I watched the cartoon show as a kid. Yeah, I watched the cartoon show. I know
the cartoon show, but it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, the person who sits next to me loves this show at work, like loves it.
Okay.
And she was asking me, she goes, "Is there season 2?" I'm like, "I got a season 2." So then I look it up, and lo and behold, there's a fucking season 2 coming. And this was like 3 weeks ago, and I told her when it came out, I was like, "Do you watch it?" She goes, "It came out." A fan of the show did not know a Netflix show came out. Zero marketing. This is why Netflix. Yeah, so no wonder it got fucking canceled. Because I texted her like the day it got canceled. I was like, "Hey, it got canceled. I told you it was going to. Like, you should have watched it more. You should have put it on in the background. Rewatched it multiple times." So
that's what I blame myself for the cancellation of Daredevil and for the Dark Crystal to this day because I haven't seen them yet.
I blame you for Dark Crystal.
No, hang on. I saw season 3 of Daredevil. I still haven't seen the Dark Crystal.
You fucking piss me off that you've still never seen that fucking show. Like, you would love it.
It's just one of those things because
it ends
because I didn't review it. I put it in the back burner, and so because I put it in the back burner, other things keep coming up for me to review, and still haven't
one
seen
episode a night. One episode a night, man. Make Bruno watch.
But I don't like to take my computer because I usually come up to the bedroom at like 11, and at that time I just want to let my mind rest and not be on the computer watching anything that keeps me engaged. Because I have problem with insomnia, but that's a whole nother thing. All right, Geek OEP. Even though we all know we're heading into the multiverse saga, we're already in it, brother. Do you think Wonder Man and Vision Quest will be in Phase 6? And when do you think they'll follow up the events of Eternals, Moon Knight, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, whether in Phase 5 or 6? I think a bulk of this, we're looking at Phase 6 stuff. Because Phase 5, it's the one we know is packed. I think we could see a little bit more of Multiverse of Madness and even of Quantumania in Loki Season 2. But Eternals, Moon Knight, No Way Home, I think a bulk of that will come in Phase 6. And I think that's where it fits best. I'm very curious that Vision Quest and Wonder Man are different shows. So I need to know a little bit more about them and when they're coming out, like compared to each other, which ones comes first, which comes after, and how long are they apart? So I personally need a little bit more details on these to know where they fit in terms of the phases. Because it's very curious that these shows are seemingly unrelated. Zach,
some of these, I think, I'm curious to see where some of these end up going. I'm going to be honest. I would not be surprised if Vision Quest ends up being a special presentation. Maybe just like an hour and a half special presentation. Because, like, from everything I've read, there's a lot of really good Vision comics. And I'm not versed into Wonder Man, but Vision and Wonder Man, I mean, they're the same person, right? At one point in time. Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So I'm very curious to see what they do. God, they got Yahya Abdul. Like that's insane to me as Wonder Man. Like that's a really good casting. But I'm curious because Wonder Man, like while I'm not versed on him, reading about his character sounds really fucking cool. And it sounds really good for a show. Vision Quest is the one that honestly like could be a movie. Like there's like I don't see Vision Quest being a show. Like that just sounds very weird to me. I don't know. I would have to see the concept. It's like the same thing as Armor Wars. Like Armor Wars, I envision more as a movie than a show. And I'm happy that now it's getting a movie. So
Wonder Man, I do envision more as a show than a movie.
I do too. So I could see how they could bring Wonder Man 2 movies, but like as a definitively his by himself, it's a show. Vision Quest is the one that's like special presentation or movie. I don't see that one as a show.
I,
And I'm
I
curious to
think
see
there's
what things
potential for
diverge.
both, but like, what are they specifically doing with Vision Quest? And depending on what they're actually doing, I can we can argue like more of a special presentation or more of an
Yeah,
actual show.
exactly. Like, it's
Um,
going to be very curious to see what things start shifting towards special presentations and what things
mhm.
don't. Because we obviously know Agatha's not going to be a special presentation. Ironheart is definitely not one, and Daredevil won't be. But what about everything
Yeah,
else that already got announced or is in development right now? So
yeah. Jigo EP, you guys think Thor 5 is going to adapt War of the Realms? So I thought this as Love and Thunder came to a close and both its post-credit scenes. And since then, nothing really that has come out has changed my mind. So right now, I'm still going to say yes. A much smaller scale version, not really War of the Realms, but Battle of the Realms, like Olympus and Asgard, like the two fighting. But that's it. As of right now, like nothing really, no new information regarding that has come out to change my mind. So as of right now, I'm still going to say yes. And it's a cool story to adapt. Zach?
I'm very curious to see what if we do get a Thor 5 or what they do, because the setup after Thor was interesting, because that's something that you feel like needs to be dealt with before the next Avengers films. That's just my opinion,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see.
Gigo EP, what's a film you own on Blu-ray but you never feel like picking it out, and play it on the Blu-ray player, aka the PlayStation? Um, Halloween Kills. No, I'm kidding. I don't own those on Blu-ray at all.
I own them all.
Honestly, Godzilla 2014. I have the Steelbook. It's a really cool Steelbook, but I don't think I've ever picked it up to play it.
I have a good one for
Well,
them.
another one that I could do, like I have it on DVD, is Hachi, A Dog's Tale, because the first
Fuck
time I
that
watched
movie.
it was on that DVD, and I don't have the balls to watch it again. It's not like I don't feel like. It's not like Godzilla, like, I don't feel like watching this one. I avoid watching that movie, even though I love it, and I made this guy suffer through it as well, so he can attest to
Yeah.
that.
The way I took this was like, I'm just lazy and I'd rather just find it on a streaming service.
Also,
So in
good point.
answering
I
it
guess.
that
Yeah.
way, most Marvel movies, most MCU films now,
Mm.
unless it's like, well, it's tough now because Disney Plus has the IMAX ratio, so that's why I've been doing it lately. But
I
the disc
50%
does have
agree
better
with you. I
quality.
50% disagree, because if I am like editing and I'm feeling like watching an MCU movie, but it's one I've seen, I'm not going to like be actually watching it, paying it full attention. I'll put it on Disney Plus.
Yep.
If I actually feel like watching a movie, I'm going to sit down and watch this movie, give it my full attention. I go and pick up the Blu-ray, because the
Okay.
Blu-rays look much better than IMAX or not, than whatever is on Disney Plus. Um, so I do see your point. It's just that I'm very selective when I see it on Disney Plus. Sodium 285. Do you think Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania will be darker than the previous two Ant-Man movies? I personally think so. According to everything we've seen in the trailer, and according to information we do know about this film, yes, it's going to be darker, and it's going to be the best Ant-Man movie yet. That's no shade on the other Ant-Man movies. I really enjoy the first Ant-Man. I really enjoy the second Ant-Man, but this has the potential to be a great movie in the MCU. Zach?
No, I think it's
No.
gonna be the same
Okay.
tone. I think it'll be a little bit darker for
Okay.
sure, but I think same tone. I still think it's gonna be a comedy overall.
All right. Sodium 285. Are either of you going to watch the new Sonic the
Nope.
Hedgehog animated series, Sonic Prime, on Netflix? You're not going to watch it?
Probably not. No.
I guess if I'm scrolling through Netflix and I don't have anything else to watch, and it just shows up as I'm scrolling, I'll maybe give it a chance. But it's personally not something I'm like looking forward to or hyped about at all. All right, Gico AP, with the news that with that news about Barbarella remake being made with Sydney Sweeney, with this and Madam Web, is she becoming Sony's female Tom Holland, where she's basically their golden girl? Tom Holland is Sony's female Tom Holland. I don't know, because those are two projects, and it seems like it's very much one of those like, we loved working with you on this, so here's another role that she fits very much, like Barbarella. So I don't know. We need to see like one, maybe two more to start that comparison. But I think you're onto something. But Sydney Sweeney is super talented. So I'm excited for a Barbarella movie, I guess. Not as much as I'm excited for a Barbie movie, but I'm interested in a Barbarella movie. Zach?
I can't believe they're wasting her in Madam Web and not making her Black Cat.
Yeah, I know. It's Sony. Eric Thorpe, just throwing in my weekly ranking in here because I came a bit late. Oh, okay. Number 1, House of the Dragon, episode 9 and 10. Number 2, The White Lotus. Number 3, Andor, season 1, episode 8. Number 4, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Number 5, Aquaman. Number 6, Blockbuster. It's a rough first episode. I've seen like 2, 3, and 4, I believe, now, and they get better. They're still not great. They're still not consistently good, but they're getting better. The Banshees of Inisherin behind block, but wow, okay. Wow, man. I'm going to disagree with you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you, brother.
Yeah.
Number 8, Arrow, season 7, episode 12. Number 9, Batman Beyond, season 2. Number 10, X-Men 92. Number 11, The Flight Attendant, season 2. I forgot to pick this show back up for season 2. And number 12, The Flash, season 5, episode 12. I like season 5 of The Flash. They got back on the groove there. Gigo EP, who are actors you guys would cast as live action for a live action God of War?
I already got this. Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Make him Kratos.
Nah. Jason Momoa is one. Years ago, not so much now. Now he's way too old for it. But years ago, Gerard Butler was like the perfect Kratos.
Yep.
Henry Cavill has the physicality, but he's not a Kratos, so I don't think he's quite a fit for it.
I have one, but the guy really needs to prove himself as an actor. Florian.
Florian Montiano.
He would be.
He's coming to my mind, but like I don't buy him. No,
I need to see more acting because
yet. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, because Kratos, and I've said this, the first 3 God of War games are a lot of fun, but Kratos, he doesn't. There's not a lot of emotional depth to him. There is, but not a lot.
Lies.
2018 makes you look back and see a whole different perspective, and then make you appreciate those games even more. I'm still interested to see what they do with God of War though as a show. Like,
oh yeah,
I really don't think they're gonna. And it's wrong. They should not do this. I don't think they're gonna start. I think they're gonna start with 2018 version.
That's wrong. Wrong choice.
Yep, I agree. Because you lose out on so much if you do that.
Yeah.
So.
Gico EP. Nope. We got that. But like for Gerard Butler could be Zeus if they do.
That'd be really good.
1 to 3. That'd be awesome.
Russell Crowe.
Nathan Holt. Yeah. Nathan Holton. Are you guys excited for the new Hunger Games? I'm interested. I haven't read the book. I read the books for the other ones, so I'm very invested in the franchise. Right now, I'm still questioning why they're not telling the story of what's the trainer's name? Haymitch. Thank you. I'm still wondering why they're not telling his story. Sodium 285 for Ren. What do you think of the news that Walter Jones, David Yost, the original cast of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are all going to be part of the 30th anniversary next year? Very excited. We talked about it last week. It paints a very bright future for this franchise that we love, because Hasbro has big plans for Power Rangers, and it's clearly showing on this. Not just because they're bringing all these guys back. They're for the first time since Mighty Morphin, they're continuing with the same cast, same characters through 2 seasons. They're making it an all original season with original suits for the Rangers and all that, the different mythos to it all. So I'm very excited. For Zach, do you think people will come around to Thor: Love and Thunder in the next few years?
No.
All right.
Dude, I get in an argument once a day at fucking work about this. How can you say that you love Thor Ragnarok but hate Love and Thunder? It makes
I don't get
zero
it
fucking sense to me. Like, if you
So
if you love both, awesome. If you dislike both, awesome. How do you not like Love and Thunder? Like,
I don't get it. Gigo EP, have you guys seen the trailer for Spirited, the new Christmas movie with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds from the director of Instant Family and That's My Boy and both Daddy's Home movies? I know of this. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I like both Daddy's Home movies fine enough. I wasn't a fan of Instant Family. I wasn't a fan of That's My Boy. Tell me to get excited, Zach.
I interviewed the director. This is my first interview
Oh,
ever, so.
That's right, you did. I remember that.
Yeah, he's from Arizona. And it's funny, I do not like Daddy's Home. I fucking hate those movies. Those years that came out, those were my least favorites. I like That's My Boy. I liked Instant Family a lot. It wasn't perfect, but he has written one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time, and that's She's Out of My League. So I'm always gonna show up and watch their movies. But Spirited, sure, why not? Looks like an Apple TV movie. Why not? Let's watch it. I don't got much to say about that trailer.
Sodium 285, will we see the review do a tier list ranking of the MCU movies and shows after Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, or a traditional ranking? Traditional ranking for me. No tier. I just don't think they're as much fun. You have to do all the graphics. It's just not as engaging for me. So yeah. Zach?
I might do both. I'm for sure doing a ranking.
Wow.
But I might do a tier list one because I already have the tier list. Dude, if you want, I already have one made. You literally can just take it. I have one made already. I just have to add. I just have to add the last 3.
You know what? I'm actually not going to do a movies and shows. I'm going to do a movies just with Black Panther, and then with
Guardians
Holiday Special, I'm going to do the shows.
Okay, that's smart. Actually, that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just do the movies this time around, and then
don't copy me.
Let's copy Sean Chandler. Let's see what Sean Chandler does.
Exactly. Luis Feliciano, hey Ren and Zach. Joe Locke from Heartstopper just got cast in Agatha Coven of Chaos. Do you think he's playing Wiccan? He looks the part.
Sure.
But are you bringing in Wiccan in the show without Wanda? And are you bringing in Wiccan without bringing in Speed? I don't know. I think he could be playing, to be fair. Like, completely honest, I think he could very well be playing Wiccan. But I don't know the strategy behind the decision of let's bring in Wiccan in a show that is set supposedly before WandaVision and is following characters that are not the Scarlet Witch herself. And also let's just bring in one of them and not the it's just so strange if he is playing Wiccan. So I don't know. Zach?
I don't care. It's just weird. Good casting though. Good casting. I'll say that if it is true, but
alrighty. Devin Scott, today is supposedly the day fans can tweet out hashtags release. Oh god. Release the air cut of Suicide Squad. What do you think? Hopefully not. Just let it die. The movie sucks. His cut will suck. The man hasn't made a good movie ever since End of Watch. So
can I read the next question?
Yeah. Sure.
Damian Scott also asks, which franchise has the most toxic fan base, Star Wars or Halloween? Both. All fan bases are toxic.
Star Wars.
DC.
Star Wars.
Dude, Halloween's pretty bad.
No, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying Star Wars is by far the most toxic. And then you have the Snyder cultists. I love Zack Snyder. You love Zack Snyder, but neither of us are cultists about it. And there are
Oh, dude,
many
in my
Snyder
closet,
cultists
I
out there.
worship him every night. I have like a whole altar to Zack Snyder.
But you worship him in the privacy of your own bedroom. That's okay.
Yeah.
Are you surprised or not Stargirl has been officially canceled after 3 seasons? I'm not surprised because I haven't given it a single thought, to be honest. I dropped out of Stargirl after season 2, episode 1, and I haven't thought about it since. And my life has been, well, not wonderful, but better for the lack of Stargirl. So yeah, you didn't even give Stargirl a chance, right?
I don't care. And I'll say
Yeah.
this, it makes me really sad because that probably means Doom Patrol's next.
Ooh. Hopefully Titans is next. I don't know. I'm not rooting for anything to be canceled. I'm just saying shows I don't care about. Demasius Scott, what will happen with HBO once HBO Max merges with Discovery Plus?
New streaming
They
service,
have
they
already,
said.
right?
No, it's a new streaming service
okay.
that's coming out next
Okay.
year.
Alrighty.
It'll
Demasius
probably
Scott,
be $50 a month.
who do you think is coming back for Avengers Secret Wars?
Ren. Ren's coming back. He's going to be in the film.
I'm coming to, not coming back.
Yeah. He's playing a version of Thor that's like John Wick who carries guns.
Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Like those are the ones. Yeah. And we have a super chat from our good friend Sucked. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. For me, Love and Thunder goes too far with the Mary J. Blige joke. And I didn't like the involvement of the kids.
Music.
Love Ragnarok.
I fucking love that.
What's the music?
When she pulls up the portable speaker and she's like, a grenade. And she's like, no, portable speaker, and plays the music.
Oh, okay. Got it. I respectfully disagree that Ragnarok seemed more adult. Because Ragnarok is just way too goofy. Like Thor throwing a ball at the glass and then he doesn't see the ball coming, so he's just a complete idiot. Because that's what heroes do. And he's just so stupid. In this film, he's cocky and he's aloof. Like, what am I going to do? But once he goes to that cage with the kids, he reassures them. He knows exactly what they are. He knows exactly what he's going to do about it. But hey, that's humor. Humor is the most subjective out of all the subjective things. So Ragnarok worked for you, and you are very much in good company, my friend. Me and Zach are on an island because every day the love for Love and Thunder seems to dwindle, but not here in this heart, in this black movie. Destroyed heart. Well, I won't say perfect. I have small issues with it, but yes, really great movie. We're going to leave your super chat up. Thank you so much for your support to the channel. So yeah, the Demasius Scott, who will return to Avengers Secret Wars, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Those are really the only ones I see coming back. How are your Best Buys, Target, and Walmarts treating the physical media section? Mine just aren't, because they don't exist. They aren't a thing over here. Zach?
Mine, I mean, Best Buy's ass, but Walmart and Target's ass too. Walmart's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Still one of the greatest vines of all time is the Target one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Target. Demasius Scott, my final question. Yeah. Are Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 underappreciated despite their studio meddling? We've been hearing about those movies. No, because they're very flawed. I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is absolutely awful. I think I like Spider-Man 3 more than most people. But the key part of that sentence is more than most people. I don't think they're underappreciated. They're just completely flawed movies that were very inconsistent within their franchises and in it of themselves. Just one is quite watchable, and the other one is an absolute disaster. Zach?
Yeah. Wait, which one was this?
Spider-Man
trying to
3
think.
and Amazing Spider-Man 2, are they underappreciated?
I don't hate them. I actually like them. So
God damn it. Dominic Scott, what's your favorite Halloween timeline? What's your favorite Halloween? Mine is Halloween 40 years later. My favorite timeline is the one that is just Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween H2O, because Halloween Resurrection does not exist. I don't care what you say.
I like. You know what mine is?
What is yours?
The one when they didn't make a sequel.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. So Halloween and Halloween 2. Nice.
No, just
I like it.
Halloween.
Yes.
Fuck
No.
Halloween 2.
Halloween, 2.
So
Halloween 2 is an extension of the
fucking
original.
boring. I
No, it's
hate
not.
Halloween 2. It's so fucking boring. It's so fucking boring.
Lies and deception.
Halloween 2. I hated Halloween 2. Fucking
Lies
boring.
and deception.
Don't
Lies
go
and
look
deception.
at my ranking then, because you'll be sad where it's at. It's pretty fucking
Luis
low.
Luciano, do you think we will get the Barbie trailer before the end of the year? That's a good one. So Barbie is Warner Brothers, right?
It comes out in July. No. I think we get it early January.
You don't think so?
February. Yeah, no. Do you want to know what Warner Brothers movie we could potentially get this year? Dune. I would not be shocked if they drop a Dune trailer with Avatar.
Because my thought process was more so, what Warner Brothers movie are we getting before the end of the year
That's now? It's over.
That's
they
it.
Have no
Black
more.
Last one. So yeah, because no other Warner Brothers movie is coming out, I don't think we get it. But I would love to be wrong, man. Maybe New Year's Eve, maybe Christmas Day, maybe Christmas Eve. I don't know. We'll see. And final question from our good friend Geek VP. Hang on. What are your top 5 or 10 favorite movies from 10 years ago, 2012? Like the House of the Dragon ranking question, like off the top of my head, I really don't know. Number 1 was The Avengers. Dark Knight Rises is somewhere in there. Skyfall is somewhere in there. And that's, I don't even know what else I would put in there off the top of my head. Zach, what do you got?
I don't know what released in 2012. I'd have to, let me see.
We got Mud. I know you love Mud. Ooh, Place Beyond the Pines would be there for me, up there. The Hunt is fan-fucking-tastic. The original Sinister
Prometheus,
is great.
The Hunt, yeah. Place Beyond the Pines. Moonrise Kingdom, I really love. Ted, 21 Jump Street. Ooh, I love Ted and 21 Jump Street. Dark Knight Rises.
Zach, your favorite movie came out in 2012. This Means War.
Oh, I love that movie.
Which I've never seen.
Silver Linings Playbook
would be up there for me. Silver Linings Playbook, The Cabin in the Woods.
Chronicle.
That was a good year.
Didn't Avengers come out in 2012?
Chronicle sucks, by the way.
Wait, didn't Avengers come out in 2012?
Yeah, I said that would be my number 1. Okay. No contest. John Carter came out in 2012.
Amazing Spider-Man also came out. Really dug that. Project X.
Wait, yeah, that's right. It was 2012. Shit.
Huh. Yeah.
Dread came out in 2012.
We threw a Project X party that same year and we got in huge trouble.
Looper came out in 2012, so that gets up there for me.
Fucking love Looper.
Chronicle is amazing.
Did too. I don't know if I said that already.
Chronicle is shit. I hate Chronicle. It's garbage.
What's better?
Expendables 2, believe it or not. Expendables 2.
What's better? Al Capone, the Al Capone movie, or Chronicle?
Chronicle, I guess.
Dude, when he shit his pants, I died laughing.
The fact that I'm telling you right now that a found footage movie is better than something else tells you how fucking low that bar is. Chronicle is not good. Chronicle. I love
Chronicle. Loved Chronicle.
Boo Chronicle, and boo Josh Trank.
Oh, Argo. He said Argo. Right, loved Argo.
Yeah. Argo is great. 7 Psychopaths. Holy shit.
7 Psychopaths is great.
All right, everyone. That's going to do it for today's episode of This Week in Geek. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your great questions. Thank you so much for the support to our friend Sucked. And we'll be back next week with the fallout of Wakanda Forever. We're not necessarily going to dish out all the secrets, all the spoilers yet.
I think
we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do next week, but obviously we're gonna have another Black Panther Wakanda Forever heavy show. So thank you so much for watching. Yeah.
Before we get going, real fast, everyone in the chat, do you think Ren will love Wakanda Forever? Let's put it out there. Let's see.
Putting me on the spot right here. Jesus.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Come on. Throw in the chat. No one else watching? Okay. We already everyone already click off because we left.
9 people are watching at the very least. 9 people are watching.
Okay. Guys, I'm asking you guys, will Ren like this movie? You guys have about 5 seconds to reply, or else we're just gonna end this.
Not really. Oh man.
Ren will like it.
We have 2 yeses. Sucked and Eric Thorpe think I will like it. Diminisian Scott says not really. Ooh, okay.
I think I'm going to love it, and I think you're just going to like it.
Like the original Black Panther. I really like it, and you love it.
I think you're gonna like the first one more still.
I think so too. I think.
Are you a big fan of Namor from the comics?
If he is the villain of a story, yes, because Namor is an absolute.
Okay, that's what I agree with. If he is the villain, I like that. He is. I like when he's more anti-hero than when he's just like a hero.
Yeah, I just don't like him as a protagonist because Namor is a dick.
Yeah,
he's an asshole.
I agree.
So yeah.
Okay.
All right, everyone. That's gonna do it. We got a packed week coming. I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to be uploading, but I can't talk about yet. And yeah. Zach, I'm sure you have a lot of stuff coming as well. Stay tuned for all the Black Panther goodness, not just Chazelle goodness, all the Black Panther goodness coming this week. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. Until the next one, love each other and love the movie.